and you're listening to the WSE Lounge.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to be back here on the WSE Lounge. We've been off the air since April the 5th, but we are back here on the WSE Lounge, and today we got quite a treat for you out there, all you viewers out there and fans. If you love the Young Bucks, which I know a lot of you do, in professional wrestling, then you'll love today's guest. He is the father of the Young Bucks. He is also a rocker, a singer, a writer, composer, and a Christian. And right now, without further ado, please welcome to the WSE Lounge, the one and only Papa Buck.
Hey, thank you so much. It's good to be here today, and that's quite an announcement there. So hopefully I can live up to your expectations.
You are more than welcome. It is an honor to have you on the show today. How's the weather out there in California?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's 75 degrees and sunny, and we're in the high desert over here, so no smog. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Day of destiny.
That is great. That's great. Down here, it's in Georgia, it's 90 something, and it's a little bit cloudy outside, rainy. So it seems like we go back and forth from hot and cold. So you can't never tell what the weather's going to do because it's changing day by day, and I'm sure up there it's changing a lot too. But you know, I had a recent guest on the show, Ian Buchanan. He was telling me that up in California, y'all don't get too much rain up there. When you do, it's a blessing.
Oh yeah, we welcome it, highly welcome it, man. It's a blessing, and that where you're at, the humidity is probably the same degrees as the actual heat, right?
Do I know?
I was saying, you're over there where you're at, the humidity is probably the same as the actual heat.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's no fun at all, believe me.
Yeah. The boys tell me that they go over there and they sweat to death, man, right when they get out of the airport. I was there once out in Atlanta. We just kind of stopped over there for a little bit. It was morning time in the middle of May, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, they do I know they do the Ring of Honor down here a lot, down here in Atlanta. So I know they have Ring of Honor down here a lot, where they do the TV tapings and stuff and recordings. And I got a fan question for you before I get into my questions. Dave McCormick says, who is Matthew most looking forward to meeting at StarCast All In?
You know what? The person I definitely want to meet the most over there would be the Young Bucks, because I never get to see them in California. So they're the ones that I'm looking forward to meeting the most over there. To be honest with you, I'm not too I love everybody, but I'm not too starstruck for a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
I might sound weird, but I look at everybody. I look at everybody as human beings, and I only have really one idol, and that's my Lord Jesus Christ. To be honest with you, but
Amen.
I'd really love to meet my sons, man, because they're over here like May. They've been over here maybe a weekend, So I'm looking forward to spending some time with those guys. So hopefully that answers the question.
All right. Well, that sounds like a winner to me. I tell you.
Yeah, it probably wasn't the answer they were looking for, but the young bucks definitely would be that answer.
Yeah, I look at everybody as equal. I mean, no matter what genre you're in or whatever. I mean, no matter what your name is. I mean, you're all still human beings. You're all still the same, no matter who you are. Where you come from. So.
Right.
I mean,
right. Sure.
That's the way you got to look at it. When did you realize that you wanted to be a singer?
Well, my mama, she was a accomplished pianist, and she has written a lot of songs and has done cantatas and stuff for churches, and I always admired her, and I was basically could breathe, and I'm like, man, I want to be like her, and so I would say from the age of 10 years old, I started picking up piano and stuff, but I was from a family of 9. So my mom, she didn't have much time for me because we had 9 other kids, and so I just pretty much sat down and just taught myself, And I wrote my first song when I was like about 13 years old.
Incredible, 13 years old. Wow.
Yeah, I composed my very first song.
So do you remember what song that was that you composed?
It was called "I Love You with the Love of Jesus."
Mm-hmm.
And it was a Jesus song. I was born and raised in church all my life, so that was pretty much my first song, and it just pretty much talked about I as a human being, I'm flesh and everything, so I look at if somebody does me wrong, it's kind of my flesh. I want to. I don't want to love all over them, but I have to look at them through, the eye of Jesus. So it was kind of like I love you with the love of Jesus, and not through me myself. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that was pretty much my first song, man. I wrote it on an old baby grand piano.
Well, that's incredible, and you're exactly right on that statement, and I got another fan question. This one was actually asked last night under your poster I put up on the WSC Lounge podcast page. Jake Sinesic, I hope I pronounced that last name right. I would like to know who some of Papa Buck's influences musically are. Also, who are some current musicians he is into?
I grew up with classic rock and roll, man. So I would say the guys from Kansas, Kerry Livgren, he's the originator from Kansas, and I grew up on his music, and it even made it sweeter when he became a Christian, and he went over to doing Christian music and stuff. So Kerry Livgren, John Elefante, guys from Kansas, and guys from Styx. But early rock and roll, classic rock, definitely my influence, and a lot of Christian music I grew up on, Petra, and, Sweet Comfort Band, and early Christian stuff, but mostly classic rock and roll, man.
Awesome. What about the you talking about early Christian music? What about the McCameys and the Gaithers and all them?
Oh man, my mom and dad, they grew me up on Bill Gaither and all those guys, man. The gospel stuff. Yeah, I grew up on all that, but I was more edgy kind of more rebellious, so my music was a little more upbeat, you know. And you know, I love those guys early and everything, but man, my mom and dad just threw that stuff at me like crazy, and you know, it's good for that genre, but I'm pretty much, I did a lot of upbeat stuff, man, and you know, everybody's got their own styles and everything, but I grew up on all that gospel stuff, so.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard of them before, but you remember the late Thestel Goodman?
Oh man, it's very vaguely. I couldn't pinpoint it. It sounds very familiar.
Okay, well, Thestel Goodman, one of the guests that we had, one of the guests that I've had on the show before, Logan Smith. Let me get the dog right here. Okay. I'm gonna have the dog on the live as well. You know, the dogs get to barking sometimes. That's not my doggy.
No,
but Logan Smith that we've had on the show for an interview before. Logan Smith, he actually sings like Thestel Goodman, and it's actually pretty incredible. But yeah, that's why I mentioned that, you know, if you remember Thestel Goodman and them.
Sounds vaguely familiar, you know, but like I said, I try to stray away from you know, the all the gospel, the old-fashioned gospel stuff, you know, and due respect to all those guys, I love it, and there's a time for that too. But pretty much this upbeat classic rock and roll that I grew up on, and Elvis and Michael Jackson. I have a song that pretty much talks about that, man. You know, we come home from church, and it's called Jesus, Elvis, Rock and Roll, song that I wrote. And pretty much talks about what I grew up on, and we'd come home from church, and I would blast Elvis and Michael Jackson, and my daddy would just turn that music down, son. So that song on there is a true story, you know, like, so. Don't you know that this music coming out of here represents who we are, you know? And like, yeah, so I was pretty much from a religious family where, you know, we only blast, you know, Bill Gaither here, son. And so I was kind of rebellious, you know. I was one of those youth where, you know, I was kind of rebellious. So I've gotten kicked out of a lot of churches for my music being loud, and, you know, and
wow.
Hair grown long and stuff, you know. So. But I love them up and down the church. Church is good. But I was one of those rebellious youth. Loud rock and roll music, man. My brother was a drummer. He had a drum set, and my mom and dad would be gone. We would set up a band in the living room at our house, and we would just crank it up to 10, and you know, make sure our dad didn't come home and hear us taking over the living room. Blasting sticks and Kansas and Zeppelin.
I want to ask you. Speaking of that, I wanted to go over just a few minutes about your some of your songs that you have wrote and the meaning behind them. The first song I want to go over is a song called "Champion."
That's a song that kind of, I don't know, the boys haven't really pushed it on BTV or anything. And there's kind of two messages there, and it's pretty much talking about, I'm kind of laying it over to where Jesus is my champion, and then my sons are the champion, you know, and we're pretty much talking about prophecy and where the boys are, and they were part of a prophecy long ago, back in the 90s. With we were at a prophetic meeting with Kim Clement, and he prophesied over the boys that they would fill dark arenas around the world. So champion, and so it pretty much talks about Jesus, and then it kind of goes over to the boys. So there's there's kind of two different meanings in there, you know, but champion will rise again, and then talking about my sons, you know, they've endured everything, man, and you know, just pretty much wanted to give up so many times, but out of the ashes, a hero will rise. So out of the ashes of just all the haters out there hating on them, and you know, the same with Jesus, you know, out of the ashes comes heroes, and so that's pretty much where that song was birthed out of, you know. And I love that song. It's got a lot of passion. It hasn't been really played and kind of just over. I don't know if it's kind of too religious for, you know, some people, you know, but it does cross over and talks about, you know, champion of the world, my boys, you know.
Well, that's an awesome meaning behind it, and it's also amazing when you was talking about the, you know, that your boys were prophesied over they'd be selling out dark arenas, and you know, God had a plan for their life, and look at them now. I mean, the Young Bucks in Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they were at one time at Impact Wrestling as Generation Me, and so I mean, you know, a part of one of the biggest, the biggest group since the NWO, the Bullet Club. I mean, so you know that's an incredible accomplishment. Also, you know, champion for Jesus. I mean, you know, it says in the Bible that the Jews, you know, Jesus' own people turned against him and stuff, and you still got that today. You know, when you're talking to somebody and you talk about something, you know, it's like they want to hear it, but if you get talking about Jesus, they don't want to hear nothing about it, you know, and it's just it's crazy, you know, it really is, it really is.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it scares people, you know, and I like I said, I've been growing up in church all my life, and people are just tired of being preached to, man. You know what I mean? There's got to be a new way to reach people, man. I mean, you know, you get in there, you get preachy, and you start, you know, preaching hell and damnation, man. People just don't want to hear that because you know, we're all sinners, and we all are you know, sin all our lives, you know. So people go in there like, well, I might as well give up then, man, because you know I'm going to hell because I'm a sinner. You know, they preach that all the time, but I always tell my boys, you know what, just illuminate, man, just, you know, illuminate. And I mean, you don't have to get out there and be all preachy, and, you know, same with myself, man. If you illuminate, people are going to come to you and they're going to say, man, what is this about you? You know, and the biggest testimony that you have is just being an example, you know. So that's definitely the biggest testimony you can have, instead of, you know, preachy and, you know, throwing something Bibles at people and stuff. So I've always tell them just illuminate, and they do, man. They illuminate. People are like, wow, you guys are different, man. What is it about you, you know? And then the boys say, oh, man, you know, Christian, man, you know. So.
Well, the next song I want to ask you about is called "Chasing My Dreams," and I'm guessing that song is just talking about you having a dream and going after it and chasing that dream. Now I could be wrong, but that's just my guess and partake on it.
Yeah, that song, man, it's pretty much. I mean, it's also for the boys, you know. I talked about, you know, taking the red eye to Japan and to New York, and you know, as being a parent, man, we've seen behind the scenes, and you know, people look at it and like, oh, this has been an easy road for the Young Bucks, and you know what? They got it so wrong, man. It's been hard. It's been discouraging. I mean, it's been work. Kind of the boys would go to shows and, you know, make $10 a show. It's just, you know, just discouraged, and so many times they want to hang it up, man, and just, you know. But it's just pretty much talking about, you know, get out there and chasing your dream, and pretty much, you know, whatever that dream is, and it's also a message to myself. You know, I've been chasing my musical dreams since, like I told you, 13 years old. You know, I've been chasing it down, man. And but the boys kind of want me to change the lyrics on that because now they're living the dream. So they said, Dad, you got to change the lyrics to "Living the Dream." But you know what? I wrote that from the heart. I wrote it years ago when they were just really discouraged through TNA and just all the haters on them, man. And like so many times, man, I'm like, Dad, we just want to hang this up, man. And I'm like, no, you guys are called. This is your destiny, man. You get out there and you try it. You try something different, and you get out there and you chase your dream, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it goes. It's really pretty much for anything. I mean. And it was a message to me because all my life I've been in construction and I've always pretty much been bored with it, man. Like, oh, I got to get out there. I had no inspiration to go out there and film for somebody, man. I was like, oh, this is just a job, and I've always wanted to be a musician, and so it just shows always chase down what you want, not what other people want for you. Chase your dream, man, and you go for it, And a lot of people, like they'll grow up, their dad's a doctor. Well, I want you to be a doctor, And I'm like, no, I don't want to be a doctor, man. I want to be a musician. And so you got to chase down what your dreams are, And like I said, I've been chasing my dream down forever, and in Christian music, and I played churches and some auditoriums and stuff, but nothing really never clicked, man. So when boys started doing their BTE shows, they're like, Dad, we want you to write some theme songs. We love your Christian music and everything, but we kind of want to see if you could come up with some theme songs, man. And we believe in you, and we love your music and stuff. But can you maybe see if you could? And I'm like, are you kidding? Heck yeah, man. I'll try something different, man. I've been chasing this dream of music for a while, so this. My dream is now coming true, man. After all these years in music, because I've been discouraged at it also, and my wife would always say, "No, you get out there, you're called to do music, and even if you go in there and you just write some songs to God, and He's your only audience, you get out there and do it." So I've never given up on it, and now the door is like wide open, and who would have known it would come full circle like this, man, through my sons. It's amazing. So the doors that have opened, and the people that I'm meeting, and so it just shows, chase your dream and just hunt it down, man. Hunt it down. So, hopefully my answers aren't too long, man. I'm a doctor, so.
I agree with you 100% on that. You gotta chase your dream. I mean, when I started out, before I started doing this podcast, I was just calling into shows, when they had a guest on, a wrestler or soap star, or just anybody that had on, that was out there, and just called in and talked to them and stuff, and ask a question or something. And I got thinking in my head, I was like, you know what? If these podcasters can do this and host their own show, then I said, I can do this too, And so, I made up my mind, and I did it. And back in, I did it by the grace of God. Back in September of 2014, I started this thing out. It went through three name changes. The third name change, and it started out on Blog Talk, and then I left Blog Talk and came over here to do it on Facebook, because the reason I left Blog Talk is because I felt like that the fans really didn't. I mean, they got to call in and talk to the guest on the phone, but the fans really didn't get an opportunity to talk as long as they wanted to, or ask as many questions they wanted to, because Blog Talk would give me 30 minutes and for free, and that was it. And then after 30 minutes was over, if I wasn't done, or if I didn't hurry up and rush the interview, then Blog Talk would just cut me off and end the interview, and that was terrible, and that was also a nerve-wracking process, because I remember having a guest on one time. We were having a good interview, and she was singing, and then the Blog Talk just cut us off, and I was like, oh my goodness. And so I was like, oh man, you gotta be kidding me. And then one time I tried doing the Blog Talk where it would be I think a couple dollars a month, where you could have like a 2-hour show, and 50 and up to 50 people calling in. So what I did was I scheduled Al Snow. I know you know who Al Snow is. I scheduled Al Snow. I had Al Snow on, and then I had the Exotic Adrian Street on, and they were on back to back in both hours. And do you know that whole entire time? And this is what really was discouraging. After that whole entire time of the 2 hour point, I had one caller call in, and they called in the first hour and the second hour when it could have been up to 50 callers. And I was like, this is not working, and I don't think so. So, so I canceled out that, and I said, well, I got to do something different with this show to help the fans enjoy it more, and where the fans can interact more with the guests and stuff. And so that's what I decided to come up with, because I had already had a WSC Lounge Facebook page, but I wasn't doing it on here, and they introduced Facebook Live, and I said, let me try this out and see how this works. So then that's when I decided to do that and do this, and it seems to really be working, and the fans seem to interact more and enjoy it more.
There you go, man, chasing your dreams.
Yeah, and the next song I wanted to ask you about now, you'll have to fill me in on this one because I have no idea what this one stands for. Ruins.
What's it? Oh, Ruins?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I love that song. Got a lot of passion. That song was birthed from, we had a local fire over here and over the mountains, and this lady lost everything she owned, man, on this fire, and it was on the local news over here. And so she went back the next day to see what was left in the ruins of this fire. And by some miracle, her wedding dress was pristine, man. And she just cried, and she was like, "This is all that matters to me, man. Was my wedding dress, And so the song just talks about, that everything in life that we obtain, anything that's washed away in the rain, man, is really not worth it. But what we value in everything that we obtain in life, through friendship, through love, through family, those are the priceless things, man, that you can't put a price on, because everything's just going to be washed away. And at this time, Katrina was going on, and, people were losing everything, and the earthquakes were happening back in the Middle East, and so it just inspired me. And then this was also around the time of 9/11, man, where that was going on, and it talked about all the planes that hit the towers, and so yeah, that one got a lot of meaning and a lot of passion behind it. The boys were playing that at the beginning of their BT a lot, but yeah, that one hits home, man, because there's a lot of passion behind it. But pretty much talking about, you work your whole life to obtain these things, and they're pretty much, washed away, and they're pretty much turned to ashes by the fire and turned to rubble by the earthquake, man. But what we value is love, family, and those things that you just can't put a price on. So that's in a nutshell how that song was birthed. So hopefully that clears up pretty much your thinking on that.
Oh yeah, it does. And as you were talking, I thought about that song Lee Greenwood sings. If let's say if tomorrow I lost everything but my children and my wife, I thank God for my lucky stars to be standing here today.
Yeah.
And
Proud to be there.
and you're talking about family and stuff, and I just want to tell you, I've seen y'all's photos, on social media and stuff, and y'all seem like a close, loving family, and that's something that you really don't see too often these days. But I think that's wonderful, though. I've seen a picture. The picture I'm talking about. I seen it was you, your wife, and Matt and Nick and their wives, and I believe it was the grandkids. Y'all were all in a picture and everything, and it just seemed like such a close, loving, and wonderful, sweet family. And that's great. Great to have.
I really appreciate that, man. And that's just not a picture, to show off, my beautiful family or whatever. But that's a picture. That's a picture of unity, man. And we have worked so hard to keep the family unit together, man. I mean, even the Bible talks about it, man. If you can't keep your family together, how are you to change the world? You know what I mean?
That's right.
Believe me, I mean, the picture looks beautiful and everything, but we all, our kids grow up and we all got our different personalities, man. And we marry into families that's got different personalities and different belief systems and stuff. But man, you know what all matters is the family unit and love, man. And we just and nipping problems in the bud, man. I mean, just when there is a situation that pops up, don't let it linger, man. Don't spend one day, without getting it right, man. And call that person up and go knock their door down, whatever you got to do to love all over, man. And say, you know what? I'm sorry if I misspoke, or I'm sorry if I offended you, man. And it's because if you can't get the family together, and you're not going to change the world, man. You gotta put your family first, and we're tight, and we value every minute together, man, because it's very rare that we get together, especially the boys. My son Malachi, he used to work with me in construction until the construction went to hell out here in California. So he's selling cars. He's like #1 car salesman out here at Kia. And, so he's out there, man, 14 hours a day from bow to bow,
Wow.
And so it's hard seeing him. And the boys are never in town. So when we plan on getting together, man, we forget all of our, adversities and whatever, man. It's just, all right, we'll disagree on that or whatever. But, it don't matter, man. What I want to do is just, I want to love all over you, and I want to, have our common ground and enjoy the moments that we have together, and we have a blast, man. So that's one thing I'm proud of, man. And just from day one was always just try to keep our family together, man. When the boys were growing up, if they had any disagreements or something, man, we would always say, you get this right with your brother or your sister, you get it right, and you're not going to go out there and we didn't spank them or anything, man, but we just told them, and this thing really worked too.
Mm-hmm.
We told them, that wrestling ring out there, you are not allowed on it, because we knew what they loved and we knew their passion. They wanted to do shows for neighborhoods and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, till you guys get together with each other, you're not going out there, man. And we were firm on it, and like they didn't want to lose that, man, because that was their passion, So,
Mm-hmm.
so little things like that work good to keep the family together, So, but yeah, that's appreciate you noticing that, man. But yeah.
Oh, you're very welcome. And something else I wanted to mention to you before I ask you about the other songs that I have on the list. I don't know if you've ever been told this, and I'm pretty sure you have, but you favor your son Matt so much.
You know what? That's a total compliment, man. He's gorgeous. He's a gorgeous kid, along with Nick. But that's a compliment, man. I wish I had half the hair that he has, man. Kid's got a big full head of hair, man. But yeah, since the day he was born, pretty much hit the dark skin and the dark hair. And yeah, a lot of people have been like, you could be Matt's twin, which is a compliment because he's gorgeous, along with Nick, along with my son Malachi. But yeah, my son Matt definitely look alike, man. Sure.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
And, Nick took after Mama with the blonde hair and the blue eyes.
Okay, well that's pretty cool. And the other song I wanted to ask you about is War Drums.
War Drums. fresh and new.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, all these songs are pretty much birthed, you know, from passion and from my heart, you know, and war drum isn't pretty much, you know, it isn't like, you know, there's I hear these war drums in the distance, and you know, there's a war going on. I mean, as far it's not a physical war of you know, guys laying up ready to take over, you know, the world, but the war drums are anybody that is against you, that holds you down. Those are the war drums that I'm talking about, man. You know, the hypothetical people back there that, man, you can't do this, and you know, you don't have the stomach for it, you don't have the talent for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so talked about, you hear the war drums in the distance, you know, and those are the people that are rambling on, man, the naysayers and the haters, you know, and talks about take no prisoners, man, and like just another way of, you know, go out there and do what you want to do, and don't be taken alive, man. Just drive, go for your passion, and don't let nothing stop you, and you will not be taken alive. In a, you know, it's more of a symbol of just go grab it, man. There's a war in the heavenlies going on, and the enemy's gonna want to take you out at all costs, man. You just keep fighting that good fight, you know. So that's pretty much where that comes from.
Okay.
A lot of hidden analogies in my song. So.
Okay. Well, you know, I've got a few more wrote down, but I'm just gonna just quickly just say that the song I know Home Sweet Home is probably you know, you feeling like you're at home and it's home sweet home and it's good to be home. I know that's probably what the meaning of that is. I'm guessing.
That one, it's home, man. It's just, of course, man, home sweet home. Everybody's got that place, man, where you just want to be, man. Where you know, this is my home, you know. This is where I just want to come and just relax and just be with family and friends, man. And you know, this reminds me of you know, things that like I can hear the sound, you know, of the train in the distance, and I can smell the smell of sagebrush, and just a lot of things. Now, my dad would always take us fishing, and never really caught much, you know, like the song talked about, but you know, just being, you know, home, you know, coming home, being there, man, where your heart is. Yeah, home sweet home.
And the other songs I got wrote down, I'm just gonna leave them to the fans for you to go and check out his music, because I don't think he needs to go through every single song that you know that he's written and tell you about them. I think it's for you to check out his music. And I want to ask you really quickly before we continue with the questions. Where can everybody find your CD at and your music?
I'm working on some actual mass producing some CDs. I'm gonna have them ready by the time get out to All In. So I don't have those, you know. I mean, I did a lot of Christian stuff that kind of got buried and everything. So, but now, you know, what's popular is all the BTE stuff. So I'm working on those and some vinyl and stuff. So those will be definitely done. But right now, best place to go is to my iTunes.
Okay.
That's MatthewLeeMassey.com, I believe it is. But the iTunes is the best place to go, because I get, you know, when somebody downloads that, I get the whole $1 instead of like Spotify and you know, Amazon. And I mean, they're all on there. If you can't afford the $1, you know, that's fine. But go on Spotify and Amazon and Deezer. And so, but iTunes, I try to guide people to go to my iTunes, you know, because that's where I pretty much get 100% of my music there. But I definitely will have some CDs, and I'm gonna have the boys autograph jacket, you know, on there and stuff, and to make it sweeter, you know, and stuff. So that's definitely coming soon. It's in the works.
Okay, and let me ask you really quickly. what's the biggest crowd you've ever performed in front of?
What's the biggest crowd? Oh man, I would say a good 1,000 people. Church crowds aren't too big, but through the years, I mean, it's been thousands and thousands. But I would say about 1,000 people, and I just get up there and jam with some people. We're doing some church shows and stuff. So, but yeah, so about 1,000 people.
Okay. And what's the most famous arena you've ever had to perform at?
Say that again now?
What's the most famous place you've ever performed at? I don't know why I said arena. What's the most famous place you've ever performed at?
It's just I've done some private, like Christian private schools and stuff, with big auditoriums and stuff, but nothing that's really, like I said, my Christian music, there's really not too much of an audience for Christian music, and that's sad to say, but no, I pretty much, 1,000 people in just different auditoriums, nothing, it would ring a bell to you or whatever, so.
Okay, and I like your song. I was listening to it on YouTube, and I like your song called "Jesus Still Does Miracles," and that's very true. Jesus still does do miracles, every day.
Oh yeah.
And
that's another song that was heard from Passion. My sister, she was given 72 hours to live, and people, the doctors told us to come in there and give her her last rites and say goodbye to her and everything. And we rushed over to the hospital, and we're like, you know what? We are not going to say goodbye to her because she is going to live and not die. And she started breathing on her own, man, and she's doing amazing now. So that song was birthed from that, and that's a pretty wild church song that I've done.
Wow, that's an incredible story and incredible background on that song, and that's amazing, and it shows how God's miracles work every day. Fans out there, you got any questions or comments for Papa Buck, the Young Buck's father? Please leave them below in the comments, and I'll be sure and ask them. Also, how long? And this is the last question relating to your music. How long would you say it takes you to write a song?
Well, some songs, man, I come in my studio and I turn on my drum machine and basically, man, it's passion there that it's meant to be. I've written songs in 5 minutes, man. And then some other songs are just like I got this idea for the song and it's just so like hard to put it together, and then some just clicks and you all of a sudden, oh yeah, I found a chorus for this, but like most songs that are birds from the heart, just go in there pretty much 5 minutes, write it down. But as far as to write them and to get them down and to finalize them, and that could be a month, 2 months, but it's it depends, man. Some are quick and some take forever. I mean, there's songs like there's a song on there that I wrote for my wife. That love song that I wrote in there. I had that song back in the idea for it back in the 80s, and then finally completed it like 5 years ago and presented it to her on her anniversary because she was all, man, I love that ballad you do on the piano. It's called "You're My Life." It's my love song on there for my wife for 37 years, Joyce Massey. And so I surprised her one time. She was all, I want you to, because I only had the chorus on there, man. And she's all, you got to finish that song. So I presented it to her a few years back on her anniversary, and she just cried and finally finished it. So it's probably one of my best love songs that I've wrote.
Wow, that's so sweet and romantic, and that's so cool that when writing a song, I know that some songs come right to you, and then some take a month, but that's just really awesome. You know, to even be able to have the knowledge to write a song. I mean, you know, that's incredible. You know, that's incredible talent.
Yeah, and I don't know if you were eventually going to ask me about the most popular song on there, the Warriors Cry. I don't know if you were going to ask me about that or not, but in case you weren't, a lot of people ask, you know, how that song was birthed, and you know, that's another song that was like, took me like 5 minutes to write the verse, or the chorus, and then I had to come up with verses when the boys came to me and said, Dad, I need you to write theme songs. I'm like, well, I do have one that I've worked on for a long time. And Warriors Cry, it's, I wrote that song. My son Malachi, he used to be a wrestler, and he would wrestle with the boys over here in California in the local scene. And just an amazing wrestler, man. But he just, he went to King of Trios down here in Philadelphia, and he's like, man, you know what? I can't do this, man. This is tough on the body, and flying there. And he pretty much said, you know what? I'm just gonna go work with Dad construction full time, and let the boys do it, man. And you know, he got married and wanted to be home with the children and stuff. And so anyway, when he was 12 years old, he got ran over by a car.
Oh no.
Yeah, he was wrestling, and he was, you know, we were all wrestling and going to shows and stuff, and he was riding his bike, man. Some lady dragged him like 20 feet underneath the car, man, and he was 2 blocks away from our house, and we heard the ambulance all coming, and Nick called us up and said, Dad, Mom, you gotta get over here. Malachi got ran over by a car. He's dragged. I don't know if he's dead or not. I don't know what's going on. The ambulance are here. Need to get over here fast. And so we went over there, man, and Malachi, my son, was laying on the ground, man, and compound fracture in his fibular right leg, and his bones sticking out. And it's amazing, man. They were going to call life flight, because whenever they hear a boy has been dragged on a bike, it's pretty much, you know, they pretty much figure he's gonna die, and they need to life flight him.
Yeah.
So for a year, man, he fought staph infections and had to have the halo, the actuator on his leg, and he had staph infection, man, and at some point they were talking about it. So staph infection doesn't leave, that they might have to amputate.
Oh no.
So you know, he pretty much said, no, it's not going to happen, man. I have faith in God that this will not happen, and so he fought it for a year, man. He got back into the wrestling ring, man, and I was watching a video one time when he was wrestling one of the local guys out here, and whenever he would wrestle, he would attack with this sound, man, like it was kind of like when the karate guys go hi, you know.
Oh yeah.
Their opponent, and I'm like, man, I've seen Malachi with this never look back, never say die attitude, man. He's wrestling, man. He got back in there and he was doing amazing, and so right there, man, the song on the spot, Warriors Cry, for man, you know, and it was, you know, a lot of people think it was, you know, written for the boys, but it was written for my son Malachi, and so the boys got together and said, hey, yeah, we want to use this on our theme for our traveling song. I'm like, go at it, man. So, you know, that's the passion behind Warriors Cry. It's written from the heart, man, and it just talks about, you know, anything in life, just anything out, man. Never look back, never say die, man. Him, Malachi could have gave up right there, man, and he's got the scars to prove it, you know. And he's just a true warrior, man, and he's a fighter, and the boys are fighters, and never look back, never say die. Always attack, your Warriors Cry, and that's just pretty much not just, you know, in wrestling, but anything in life, man, attack it and just go for it. Never look back at the past, the wounds of the past, man, but look straight ahead at your desires and at what you want to dream for, you know. So, but yeah, in case you got to ask about Warriors Cry, I know a lot of people want to hear the story behind that, so I thought I'd add that in there. So.
Well, I'm glad you did add that in there because I didn't have that. I actually didn't have that one written down. I did see that one though on YouTube, but I didn't have that one written down.
Yeah, that's like my number one hit on iTunes, man. Is Warrior's Cry. It's just because these songs, man, are just words from my heart, and I mean, I don't have like a $100,000 studio over here or whatever, but I put them down, and people are feeling the passion from it, man, because they're written from my heart. They're illuminating to people, man, and it just people love it, man. It's drawn to the light, just like I was telling you earlier, man. It illuminates, So a lot of my songs just illuminate, and people are like, man, I love it,
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the Young Bucks and All In, Starcast, and much more. So everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back at this commercial break with Papa Buck.
Hey guys, it's country recording artist Teddy Bell Aiken, and you're listening to WSD Lounge.
Hello, this is Marie Cheatham. I played Marie on Days of Our Lives and Crazy Aunt Charlene on General Hospital for Charles, and you're listening to WSE Lounge. Great show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to let you know our sponsors for the show, WSW Retro, hosted by the maestro of pro wrestling, Papa Stro, who's also a honorary Bullet Club member from Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Stro was once in WCW. He hosted a show called WSW Retro. It comes on every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on VOC Nation Radio. Also, our other sponsor, Sonia Satra, who played Lucy Cooper on Guiding Light, has a exercise program called Moticize, where you can have a fit mind, a fit body, and a fit soul. You can go and visit them at www.moticize.com, and that is Moticize. And also Soap Cities. Go there for your latest soap opera news and the comings and goings in the soap opera world and what is going on in your favorite soap operas. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Papa Buck, father of the Young Bucks, rocker, singer, Christian, writer, composer. And Papa Buck, my next question for you is, what is it like to have your sons, Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks, as one of the hottest teams in professional wrestling?
I would say I'm a very emotional guy, man. I'm like, there was a time in my life where I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be emotional, man. So I tried to be a hard guy for a year. And my wife's like, that's just not you, But this will pretty much sum it up what it's like, man. A few years ago, we were in Japan. The boys paid for all expense paid for flight and hotels and everything, man. And to go see, I think it's Wrestle Kingdom or whatever in Japan 2 years ago. And the boys came out to 45,000 screaming fans, man. And I was just bawling like a baby, man. And because I like, I was there from the time it was birth, man, when they were out in the backyard, and, on mattresses, and they come out with their little get-ups and just chasing the birds, man. And then I blinked, and it's like my boys are coming out to 45 screaming fans, man, 45,000 screaming fans, and I'm like, oh man, this is so surreal, So I was like, and I see them on TV, and so I'm a very emotional guy, man. I just cry. My wife will look over, and I'm just like sobbing, man. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, my son, my little boy. I mean, it's like, the hardest thing in the world is to get into the arts, man. I mean, anybody will tell you, musicians, and there's like 1%, man, chance arts, and you know, so it just shows, man, that you know, chasing your dream, no matter what, you just go for it, man, and whatever obstacles are in your way. So yeah, I'm proud, man. I'm just proud of him, along with my other son and Malachi, and you know, and my daughter Donna Joy. I'm just proud to be their dad, and I'm even prouder now, man, because they made me a part of it, man. Like, man, you've been there since day one, man. You supported us since day one. You built the ring in the backyard, and you put up the shows, and guys spending the night, and you know, 200 people in our backyard, and so now we want to give you a chance at it, you know. So I just proud, man. Just emotionally proud. Right? I see my little guys out there, man, just pursuing what they want, because I've seen it behind the scenes, man, the discouragements and stuff. But I've seen them fight for the dream, man, and it just shows that if you want anything bad enough in life, you just chase that dream down. So yeah, so I'm proud, man.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't even know the words to say that, but you know, that's just awesome. I mean, and you know, on top of that, you also wrote the Elite Super Kick Party song, and I know that's got to be an incredible feeling.
Oh man, that song. Talk about like a 5-minute song. You know, I was like, I went in there and my wife thought, you got to write, you know, something that pertains to, you know, what's going on with boys, you know, Super Kick Party. I'm like, oh, there it is, you know. And what it was you know, when the boys come out, they would do that little chant, the Elite, you know. They would just, you know, do that little chant right there. And I'm like, there it is, man. There it is. That's the beginning of my song. And so I found the beat to where the way that goes, you know, the Elite, the Elite. So I found the beat to that, and the rest just fell into place, man. And you know, at first I kind of thought it was corny, and so my wife said, well, what'd you work on today? And I'm like, well, you told me to do something about super cakes. So we got in the car and headed to the store, and she's all, are you kidding? This is bad. So she's like, you need to finish this and present it to the boys, man. I don't love them, you know. It's just just a half the song, man. You know, good Christian boys, bringing you joy. Can your mama love you to me? You know, it's just,
yeah.
My wife is all, it's just a good ring to it, man. And then the guys loved it so much. It's simple. It just talks about their life, and they loved it so much they used it for the beginning, you know, song, man. So that was one of those that was first, and we're gonna be definitely rocking out on that live, man, all in. So that's pretty much behind the scenes on that, man. That came quick, man. It's a fun, enjoyable song, man, that people just dance to and have a blast, man. Simple, you know.
And also another song I want to bring up, and I don't want to get sued for this, but another song I want to bring up, you might know where I'm going with this, Pop Buck, is Ceased and Desist. I think I know where that came from.
When all that went on, man, talk about, you know,
yeah.
discouragement with the boys, man. Like, you know, they were just so discouraged, man, you know, when all that went on. But then they turned around and they used it for good, man. And that was like their #1 selling T-shirt, you know. And you know what? We don't need that. We don't need that hand gesture, man. You know, we got our own brand, man. We don't need that, you know. And so yeah, that song came to me pretty fast, and I put it together. And yeah, I just, whatever's going on popular at the time, I try to put that together, and it's like just, oh, this is where we are now. And, you know, Papa Buck, you know, has a song Cease and Desist, man. You know, it's like,
yeah,
like wow, that's what's magical, is because we try to use it at the time. You know, all the stuff's going on, so people were like, wow, I can relate to this. This is happening right now. I bought the T-shirt. I want to go do the iTunes, you know. So I put that together pretty fast. You know, it's a pretty simple song, and I think it's kind of incomplete. Kind of needs something else, but I slapped it up there, and people love it, man. You know, so can do that live, with the band and stuff.
That would be good. And something I wonder is I don't know if you keep up with the current product or not that the WWE puts out there, but nothing against Charlotte Flair or anything, great wrestler, and Nature Boy Ric Flair's daughter. But she comes out when her ring entrance, when she comes out to the ring, she has a like a peacock type attire, and I'm wondering when Dalton Castle, who works for Ring of Honor, who originated that, I'm wondering when he's going to come after that with a cease and desist order, because Charlotte Flair wears that and Dalton Castle originated that, so
Yeah, I've seen that, man, and that's pretty ironically, ironically close, but let's face it, man, it's kind of hard to take on, WWE, man, so it's like, it'd be exhausting in a court lock for so long, so you just move on, man, and you make the best of it, and
that's right.
That's what the boys did, man. The boys, they made lemonade, man. Out of lemons, man, and at that time, and it put the boys over. So,
well, they did it. They did a good job at it. They did a good job at it.
Exactly, man. We've always tried to, told them to see the light through the chaos.
And another question that I want to ask you, because I've already seen on Twitter, and I thought this was so funny. I've already seen Cody Rhodes asked his mom. He said, and you might have seen this too. He said, "Mom," he said, "All In Starcast sold out within 29 minutes." He said, and he said, "What are your thoughts?" She said, "Oh, that's nice. Have you got your teeth cleaned lately?" So now I want to ask you, the Young Bucks dad, who the Young Bucks are also working with Cody Rhodes in this All In Starcast airing in September. What were your thoughts when you first found out that All In Starcast had sold out in 29 minutes?
You know what? It was for my wife. It was like her best Mother's Day present ever, man. We were headed down the hill to go see her mom, and Nick had called us and to wish my wife happy Mother's Day, and then Matt was like calling at the same time, and like, man, everybody's calling me to wish me happy Mother's Day, which whether of course that was the first thing it said, happy Mother's Day, Mom, I love you, and you'll never believe this, we sold out in 30 minutes or whatever, and of course my wife looks over at me, because I'm, like I said, I'm the emotional one, and I'm just crying, man. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because all the naysayers that said it wouldn't happen, man, and I'm like, there we go again, man, chasing their dream until they hunt it down, man, and I was just emotional, crying, and my wife's like, man, you're a wreck. I'm like, yeah, I'm proud of the guy, My wife, she's the one that holds it together, and while I'm over there just sobbing, man, like, I'm emotional wreck. I just know how hard they work, man, for everything, and the dream, man, chasing the dream down. But yeah, definitely, that's the answer right there, man. I was an emotional wreck, and it was a happy Mother's Day, to say the least, man, for my wife,
Well, I'm proud of that, because they said that it was the first independent organization that since WCW in '99, and if you take WCW off the record since '94, that a company had sold out tickets that fast since the WWE. So that's got to be a milestone accomplishment in any book.
Yeah, that's why I was just so happy, because it's like, history, man, and I'm a part of it, and the boys made me a part of it, but my music and get me involved over there. So it's like, but this is history. This is history to be made, and you know what? There's gonna be a lot more history in the books, man. I'm telling you right now. Just stay tuned, man, because this is just the beginning, folks. Put your seatbelts on, because this is just the beginning of it all, you know.
So, do you think with the record breaking of it selling out like this, do you think there will be a company of its own, or more shows, or what do you think? Because I know that it just can't stop there. I know that there's got to be something in the works, you know.
You know, they're gonna see how this one finalizes, but I don't know, man. I haven't had really time to talk to the boys, but like they're just one step at a time, man. But I just think this is the beginning of greater things, and it might not even be that we'll get another arena, we'll do the Staples Center and see if we can fill that out or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just the beginning of bigger dreams, man. And it might not even be in the wrestling arena, man. It might be something else, but whatever they decide to do, it's just going to be a sellout no matter what, man. I mean, they make a motion picture of their lives or whatever. It's going to be a sellout, So that's what I'm saying. It's just the beginning of their success, man. Because everything they touch turns to gold because they got the passion behind it, man, and everybody loves them because they illuminate towards them, So whatever they do and touch, Matt's writing a book, and I'm sure it's gonna be the bestseller, T-shirts and their little toys and stuff, man, and just everything, But this is just the beginning. This is gonna be a.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. And do you by any chance know? Because I've been wondering, do you by any chance know if this is going to be a in-demand pay-per-view, or any way that we can see it on pay-per-view or anything?
You know what? I've heard something that they're going to try that, and they'd be crazy not to, because there's a lot of fans, and it didn't get acquired tickets, so they'd be crazy, man, if they don't have some kind of live stream, man, because that's just a big more opportunity. They'd be crazy not to. So I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, man. I mean, they'd be crazy not to. This would be a big draw, man. So
I would love to see that. But I got another message for you from Dave McCormick. He says, Rue and I are really enjoying the podcast today. We always enjoy your appearances in the boys' videos. One of the craziest was when everyone in the house was getting super kicked, including yourself and Dana. Who comes up with these hilarious and creative ideas?
Oh, man. That's funny. You know what? Boys put it together, man, and then, Matt's wife, Dana, she has her thing in there, too. And, Matt, Nick, and Dana put it together, and like, hey, what do you think if we did this? And they'll ask me and the wife, like, you know what, just go for it, man. It's free for all, and so it's a family thing, man. Like, there's no big dictatorship where Matt's I'm gonna do this and that's it. That they present it to each other, and they have to agree on it, man. And believe me, there's some ideas where Matt will come up with something off the wall, and Nick's like, no, it's not. That ain't gonna work, Matt. Or Nick comes up with something, and that's not gonna work either. We'd probably get another cease and desist for that or something. And they'll ask me for ideas, and so it's pretty much everybody's got to agree on it. But that's funny, Dave. That's a good question, huh? We hope to see you and Rue over there, Dave. And all in, man. Number one fans right there.
You heard him, Dave. He hopes to see you and Rue over there at All In Starcast. It's gonna be a great show. great lineup. And speaking of lineups, I did happen to notice that in your advertisement for you singing at this show that Frankie Kazarian's going to be singing with you. How long's he been singing? I didn't even know he was a singer.
You know what? He's playing bass.
Oh, he's playing bass. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't come across that he's going to be singing. He's a successful bass player and for a metal band. And I'm sorry, Frankie, but I don't remember the name of the band. I'll give him a plug right now. And so he's a friend of Matt and Nick's and he's a friend of mine. And, I knew he was a bass player. I was going to present it to him at the beginning and see if he wanted to come down, but I thought he would be really too busy, man, with having to put his matches together and stuff. And so he reached out to Matt and said, "Hey, if your dad needs a bass player, I'm all in, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, we could break out there." And I had already lined up Dylan Spears on guitar, alternating with bass with Matt Coon. And so before I made that okay, after I talked to these guys, man, and because I don't know if their heart was so much into playing bass because they're more bass and more guitar players. So I presented them, hey, Frankie's a good friend and he's awesome on bass and he's a local boy, so I'll be able to get together with him.
I wanna interrupt you just a second, Papa Buck. The name of that band, I googled it for you, is Venk's Temper.
Oh, there you go. Man, you're quick. That's good.
Yeah, I googled it for you so you could put it out there.
Yeah, they're an awesome metal band, and I've listened to them. They've got the CD and stuff. So yeah, they're an awesome band, and I say go grab some of their stuff on iTunes as well and everything. But I presented it with the guys, and they're like, you know what, man, that's fine. We'll stay on guitar. So we're gonna have two guitar players alternating up on lead. Frankie's gonna be on bass, and he's like I was saying, he's a local boy out here. He's like an hour and a half away from me, so we'll be able to sit down in my studio and get the songs together before we shoot out there, and then we'll probably only have a day with drummer Matt Coon's son's gonna be on drums. And so we'll have a day together, but they're pretty much learning the songs, that they've downloaded and stuff. So I think we're gonna pull this off, man. And I think we're gonna have a blast, man. But yeah, Frankie on bass, appreciate him taking the time to do that, and Matt Coon and Dylan.
Well, I think it's gonna be quite a show, and Dave said he sure will. Looking forward to meeting.
Oh, that's great, man. Hopefully he's got some more money left to buy my merch too. And we were talking about that on Twitter, man. He bought the platinum bracelet and everything. So I was joking to him, saying, "Yeah, you better lose some money for my merch." I'm just kidding you, Dave. Love you guys.
Awesome. Now I don't mean to sound illiterate here, but I've been noticing you've been saying a word throughout the broadcast, and I'm not really sure what it means, and I guess I should know what it means, but what does BTE stand for?
BTE is the Being the Elite.
Oh, B Elite. Oh, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Okay.
Yeah,
B Elite, okay.
Yeah, it's Being the Elite. That's the name of their show, their hit show that they have done. And so yeah, we just call it BTE for short. So with the BTE band's kind of catchy, So we're kind of calling it. Yeah, that's Being the Elite. That's the name of their hit show.
Be the Elite.
You watch Being the Elite, and they have like 102 shows so far,
and that's on YouTube.
Yeah, they got it on
Okay.
YouTube. And
Okay.
It's getting a lot of hits, and it's the way it's going, man. It's gonna be like on some kind of cable show or something, man. Because it's popular, man, and it's just put me over. So I'm loving every minute of it, man. So
I'll be sure and definitely check that out. And I got to ask you really quickly though, Papa Buck. We've been on the air now for an hour and 15 minutes. That's great. I want to ask you real quick though. I know that Matt and Nick, they do the super kick and they have a super kick party every time they get in that ring. And but I got to ask you, do you do the super kick?
No, but I've been super kicked. I was super kicked 2 years ago in Chicago, man. I was like, I got a big old banner in my room that boys have given me for Father's Day, and it's like probably 4 feet by 6 feet, and it takes up my whole studio. But no, I've been super kicked live. Some people said I did a good job. Some say I sucked at it, but it was a blast, man. I went in there to kind of stop them because they were super kicking some girl wrestlers, and I went in there and like, what are you doing? I got you better than that, man. Super kicking girls, and so they're like, you know what, Dad, we're just gonna super kick you, you know. But no, I don't do any super kicking, man. I would probably, you know, mess my leg up or something, man, or pull a muscle or something, you know.
Okay. just thought I would ask that. Another thing I want to ask you, I know there's a lot of stars that's going to be at StarCast, but one name in particular that I did notice, and I got to ask you, is he going to be a part of a wrestling match or what? Because I know at WrestleMania he did challenge Rusev to a match, Rusev Day versus Celebrity Day, and that is Macaulay Culkin, known from Home Alone as Kevin. So, what exactly is he going to be doing? Do you know yet, or you don't know?
You know what? I'm not sure what he's going to be doing, man. I know that he's got some band that he like the pizza band or something. And I was watching something on YouTube. He's a song all about pizza or something. But I'm not sure, man. I don't want to come up like I know what he's going to be doing there. I don't know if he's going to just sign autographs or if his pizza band's going to be singing there or whatever, you know, or just have a booth and just meet with people. So I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to it. But you know, Macaulay Culkin, that's going to be fun. You know?
That'll be cool. And you know, I also look forward to seeing who else. You know, what other companies might work together with us All In. Because I believe it was, I can't remember if it was Matt or Nick, they tweeted the other night saying that they would love to fight the Revival in WWE at, you know, All In. And, you know, I'm very interested to see what other organizations work with All In to let some of their performers be there. And, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe Lucha Underground or Impact, you know, worked, you know, with All In, because I know that some of the competitors of, I know Lucha Underground and Impact have a working relationship, but you know, another organization that wouldn't surprise me to work with All In because, well, the organization hasn't been on television yet, but is Global Force Wrestling, the company that Jeff Jarrett runs. Because I know one time he was an honorary member of the Bullet Club, and you know, so that, you know, that would be interesting. But I don't know who's in that company because you know, it hasn't been on television or nothing. So you know, I don't know. You know.
Yeah, I totally. I wouldn't be able to answer that, man. I have no clue.
Yeah.
I have no clue what their card's going to be or anything like that, man. I'm really not aware of that. I don't want to give you a wrong answer there.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I was just throwing out. I actually wasn't throwing out a question. I was just throwing out ideas, you know, and stuff, you know.
No, I know that there's going to be a lot of surprises, man, and things are going to change, you know, within the next few months and stuff. But yeah, I'm really not too sure on all that stuff, man.
Now let me ask you this other question, because you probably feel the same way I do on this perspective. When you look at professional wrestling now, compared to back in the 90s, do you feel in your mind that the internet ruins a lot of the wrestling, because especially with WWE, because it's best to have a surprise kept secret from the fans to where nobody knows what's going to happen, who's going to show up. Kind of like Bischoff did with Nitro whenever he had all these different guys showing up and joining the NWO each week. Nobody knew what to expect. But now you just turn on the internet and Google and okay, so and so is going to beat so and so, or so and so is going to do this. I mean, do you kind of feel in your mind that the internet kind of ruins the surprise and the surprise element of it?
You know what? I've wrestled with that, so to speak, and I look at the positive amount of the internet. A lot of people look at the negative aspect of it, man. I look at the positive, and you either you live or you die by the internet, but I would say I'm all in, so to speak. It's because the internet, man, it just, it has put my boys on. Man, they are the king of social media, So I'm going to go with, I love it, and I think it's a positive. I think it's positive, man, and it might ruin some elements of surprise, but then if people know ahead of time, hey, this person's going to be there, it's like, wow, sure, I'm going to book a flight for it then, you know what I mean?
Well,
without the internet, I don't think that All In would have sold out as fast as it did. But so there's just a lot of advertising that goes on, and just Twitter, it just explodes, and so now I'm going to say I'm going to go for. I think the internet's a good thing, man, and I'm loving every minute of it because I'm taking advantage of it too, man.
That's true.
People that I would have never reached with my music, man, are being reached through the internet. So I think it's a good thing, man.
You got a point there, because me and you would have never met, through the internet. It wouldn't be for the internet. So
Exactly.
and I'm honored to have you on today, and I'll tell you what, sometime in the future, I would love to have you back on for like a singing performance or something, over the phone, if you're up for it, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I would definitely do that, man. Just
okay.
Give you a heads up. I would have done that today, but my voice is kind of shot.
Oh yeah, I understand completely.
A little scratchy right now, and I'm trying to preserve it, man, for All In. I'm going to be doing a bunch of rehearsing and stuff. So it's like, but yeah. So just give me a heads up, man, and see what I could do. Come up with some kind of live sound or something. And
okay.
I'm all in, brother. I'm all in it. You know it.
Okay. Well, I sure do appreciate it, and I know what it's like for your throat to be scratchy. I had a singer that came on. It was a couple months ago, and their voice was all scratched too, and they couldn't, they wasn't able to sing on the show. And I understood that, and it's been an honor to have you on today, Papa Buck, to go over your music and let the fans know about your music and stuff. And want to let everybody know that if you go on YouTube and you type in Matthew Massey, you can actually find his YouTube channel that he has on YouTube, and you can listen to some of these. All of his songs that we've talked about, you can listen to them plus more. So go and check that out, and also go and check out BTE on YouTube, Be the Elite, and go and check that out. That's Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks YouTube channel, and be sure and stay tuned to Papa Buck, Matthew Massey's Twitter account, and also the Young Bucks Twitter account, Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson, for all also Cody Rhodes, for all the latest news on All In Starcast. I'm sure it's going to be exciting. I'm not sure. I know it's going to be an exciting show because it sold out within 29 minutes. And you're going to have yours truly, Papa Buck, will be there performing live. And that right there alone is going to be awesome. I mean, you're going to get to see him in concert, performing live, and it's going to be a treat for the fans. And Frankie Kazarian will be there. He'll be on bass playing. So, and also two other, I can't remember the other two guys' name. One of them last name was Bloom. Matt Coon.
And Dylan Spears and Matt Coon's son, Matt Jr.
Okay, and they will also be there, as you just heard Papa Buck. They'll be playing in the music as well as he performs, and it's going to be a great show, so everybody stay tuned to social media for that. And Papa Buck, is there anything you'd like to plug before we end this interview?
Just you can go to my iTunes at MatthewEMatthew.com and check out all my songs, man, and just grab them and tell your friends about it. You know, pretty much got stuff from BTE to early Christian stuff, and I got my wife's love song on there, and yeah, if you can just go and support me and just keep supporting my sons by going to youngbuckmerch.com, and you know, because every little bit helps, man, and it's going into a good cause, and everything that I get, you know, all the money that I get from there, I pretty much put it back in my studio, man, to try to get, you know, my sound, better sounds and stuff, and so yeah, just pretty much keep supporting us and the boys, man, and appreciate every penny, and appreciate every fan. Thank you guys all for just putting us on the map, man. And it's been a ride, but stay tuned because the best is yet to come.
Awesome, and do this two sweet symbol right there to the Young Bucks and to Papa Buck, and got a Bullet Club shirt on right here, and Papa Buck's got his Bullet Club shirt on, and you heard him sing a little bit. You heard him sing just a little bit of a song during the interview. So use that to your imagination. And whenever this show comes on in-demand pay-per-view or on pay-per-view, be sure and order it so you can see him and hear him sing live on the in-demand pay-per-view at All In Starcast in September. So be sure and check that out. And thank you. I want to thank you so much, Papa Buck, for taking time out of your busy day to be on the show today. And I'll definitely stay in touch. And God bless you. And thank you so much for being on.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity, man. God bless you guys. Thanks for listening, guys.
You're very welcome. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Papa Buck. He is the father of the Young Bucks wrestling tag team. He's also a singer, a writer, a rocker, and a composer. And I will keep you posted when I have some more WSC Lounge shows coming up. And without any further ado, as always, I'm going to let Hudson West close out the show of the WSE Lounge.